Model mashup abominations, because that's apparently the name that we are going with. So I had to go ahead and get a new pair of snips, because a windstorm took away my last pair, and let's just call it right now, that was an expensive mistake. Trying to adjust the angle on that camera so I can get a little more in here. So today we will be going ahead and mashing together MiG-19 and the Ba-1 armored car. And that will be our abomination for today. Now the neat thing about both of these is they've got plenty of parts, and that's really what we look for. Ran into the problem last week, had a cheaper model. There was not a lot of parts whatsoever, and it was a little more rough. But, hey, you can see over here on the armored car, got quite a bit. MiG, we got quite a bit. So, that's how we're going to be starting. Now, we're going to take all the... Oh, yeah. Right here, you can see the Czech, the Pakistan, and the Russian, or more correctly, the Soviet Air Forces for the... I'll find the word eventually. But those were the 3 of the countries that use it. There's a long list of ones that actually did, but it's neat that they included that many. Also, fun fact, this, for the armored car, comes from Ukraine. Which, I'm going to keep the box because it might be a historical relic in a few years. Also, if no one... Oh, hey Dan, you joined in. Good to see you. I was kind of worried that no one would hop in at 8 a.m. or you'd miss this, but sweet, you're here. So, let's go ahead and start... Oh, boy. That's a lot. I'm going to look at those instructions real fast. Did I just chuck those away? I hope not. Oh, no, I know where they are, and they are nowhere near here. Crap. Well, I'm not even sure if those... I was looking at the MiG. I don't think those are actual parts. But if nothing else, it's something I can slap on, make a pretty nice razor spine. So, we have... It's pretty straightforward on these, honestly. Got the... Which is nice. You put together enough models, you're like, hey, I don't have all the instructions because I was dumb and left them in another box. But, ooh, hey, that's a nice box. That's okay, because we have all of our parts. And the MiG-19 is actually pretty straightforward design. The armored car is going to be the more interesting one. Okay. Let's toss that down there. Now, the armored car has basically no history on it. I will be posting the history for both of these later. The MiG-19, oh, that history takes about a half hour to cover. The armored car takes 2 minutes. Seriously. Got a bunch of wheels, though. That's neat. Okay, so these should be both on 72nd scale, which is nice. We've got the small... Okay, that is a very small car. Compared to the MiG-19 fuselage. Get better on the camera. Yeah. That's small. So, we'll basically be going with slapping together the MiG's body. And then we'll be putting parts of the armored car on it, because that seems like it would work the best. And again, I will be doing the actual full history on both of these. Hopefully, I'll be getting that up later this week. I'm trying for Tuesday. But, quick fact, as I'm looking for my sandpaper. Yes, I actually got sandpaper. I'm trying to do this right. I know, very surprising, right? The MiG-19 was the USSR's first serial production supersonic jet. Actually, it has a pretty long combat record, including Vietnam and... during the Cold War, several interceptions of Western aircraft over Soviet airspace, and not over Soviet airspace. Yeah, they weren't exactly in the right all the time. Imagine that. It's war. It's messy. Alright, let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Huh. I just don't want to have my parts with a bunch of extra stuff on, you know? Come on. There we go. Actually cleaning up the edges for the first time while doing models, which, you know, would be a little more impressive if it wasn't for the fact that this is the second model I've done. Well, not second model I've done, but second model for this model Abominations. Alright, get the other fuselage out. We'll see a little better what we're working. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. I don't think it's an actual part, but all those ridges, that'll be cool to slap on something later. And one of these days we will be doing a junk aircraft. Or craft, I guess, considering one would be an aircraft at that point. $22 pair of snips that I lost during the airstorm. The windstorm. So, I had to go get a new one. I am not happy about that. But the show must go on and all that. Let's see. Is this one pretty much good? Except for that. I can just pull that off. Okay, we are going to hold on to actually putting that together, because if I recall correctly, normally you have to get the pilot. There we are. And try as I might, I don't really have a good angle on my other camera. So, which kind of sucks. I'm going to turn this a little, because for the one I'm actually going to be recording and putting up, this is really the sweet spot. Let me go over here. I think I just moved it a little. Yeah, so I'm going to try to do all the stuff here. I have to get used to trying to record what I do, seriously. Yeah, this is the boring part, just getting all the parts out. Ooh. Just gotta look at something. Yeah, this, when I printed this, it wasn't fully out. Hang on a sec. That's why we have all our parts. And there was no challenges put forth by anyone in this build, so I'm not worrying about that. I'm not worrying about the fact that this is... Well, yeah, it was a cheaper set, which is good, because I don't have that much money to throw around on this. Same time, yeesh, it's going to be a little bit of effort here. Yeah, that's the right way. I'm trying to look at when I'm actually going to put it together. There's some spurs in the actual model kit that I'm going to have to take care of. That's okay, because that will be covered with paint and good old American determination on a Soviet jet, which is hilarious. Also hilarious is we actually got our copy of the MiG-19 from the J6 export model. Yeah, so back in... Oh, where's my glue? Back in Vietnam, about the time that the Soviet Union stopped manufacturing these, actually a little after that, we got a hold of a copy of the MiG-19 because we bought one. China had an export model known as the J6, and yeah, we just straight up bought it. We were able to test it out fully. We got it from Pakistan, technically. So we were able to fully test this sucker out. So, you know, I'm laughing that we were able to acquire our enemy's aircraft. Again, it was at the time where they stopped producing it, so I'm not sure if it fully counts, but that's like Russia getting a hold of an F-16 today. Okay? The fact that we were able to do that. So, this is where it's going to get fun, and I'm going to hope that it doesn't burst into flames in my hands, because it is cold. I'm talking about after a series of like 70, 80 degree days, it is currently 50, 60. And so the glue doesn't dry as quickly, so I'm going to give it a little help. If you can hear the background, that's my generator fluctuating because it compensates for a heat gun. Okay. Now, the problem is I think I might have this stuck to my fingers. 40 at Lake Tahoe? Oh, hell no. Sorry. No, that is way too cold for my blood, man. Which is ironic considering I live in the Pacific Northwest. But no. Lake Tahoe, I will stick to my cold being a 50-degree day until winter comes around, but that's a whole different story. Nobody wins in the wintertime. Yeah, it stuck to my fingers. Toothpick to the rescue, I hope. Just get off my fingers. There we go. Ah! There we go. It's off the fingers. Pilot was having an emotional breakdown. Apparently, didn't want to get into the aircraft. So, I'm just going to push you to the side, because I'm not risking touching you again. Okay, now, we're putting it together mostly as a MiG for the first part, but don't you worry. I don't even have the instructions for the MiG right now. Which, funny story behind that, it's because I had 3 different sources telling me different stats for the MiG-19S. And then I opened up the box and I found another one, so I was using that when I was recording, and technically I could go find the instructions. But if we follow the instructions, we're not really abominations, are we? So this looks like it might be the control panel. That fits somewhere here. How's it getting so dirty just by sitting there? There's not even any active wind. See, this is why I usually put paper down. But because that windstorm, that's no longer really an option or something I'm comfortable with doing, because I don't want stuff blowing away again. Because the last time I did that was a $20 mistake. 22, actually. And while that may not seem like a lot of money, it was for a pair of snips, and I don't want to repeat that. I kind of want to keep my gear. Let's see. Okay, that's where that would go. Now, this is either a seat back or a control panel. I don't see any buttons or anything. It might be a seat back. I don't know. Let's look at it. Here's the canopy. It'll tell me a lot about what needs to fit. Huh. So this will definitely not fit above. Is this going to be... Let's see. Let's see how it will fit. To see if I even bother with that piece or if I just throw it somewhere. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be just putting this piece on somewhere. Neat. I got to remember, farther forward. You know, kind of hurts the back, but that's what I signed up for. And I'm just watching the power on the phone. Because I don't have it plugged in right now. So I'm just hoping at this point I don't need to. Of course, depending on how long this build takes, we will find out. I am telling you what, I'm glad I got this sandpaper. Because this model has a lot of extra things attached to the parts that aren't supposed to be there. So we will correct that now. Let's see. Wait for that to be dry enough, but at the very least I can get the wings out. They come in 2 parts. Neat. There's the snips. Oh yeah. It would be a pain and a half to be trying to get these taken care of without these snips. Whoops. So normally model parts will have those, you know, it's like here. You can see it kind of on that camera. It's a bad camera. On this one, you probably can see it a little better. But right next to the parts, that plastic is thinned on out. Right? And that's to make it easier for whoever's taking it out. On this one, it doesn't. Like, straight up, that's solid all the way to the actual part. So it requires a lot more force. Thankfully, these are definitely up to the job. Of course, I think this model kit was made... sorry, alarm. 1972 is what the instructions read. So, come on now. It's a little more difficult to get these wings out. We're like, oh, we won't invent the technology that allows people to actually get our things out of the kit for another umpteen years. So we're old. 1 second. Yeah. Had to get my garbage tray. Alright. So, the main body is done. We got here. So what you can actually see there is the wing root gun for the MiG's cannons. Had a total of 3 of them. The wing roots had 75 rounds each. The fuselage had 55 rounds. It did not carry missiles, at least for the grand majority of its career, and that's because it was invented before missiles. Like, this thing entered service 3 years before Soviets had air-to-air missiles. Alright, let's see if this thing's going to cooperate enough to get glued in, huh? Let's see, back. Will I be able to do this? Who knows? If not, I guess I'll just paint the fuselage so you can't see inside of it, depending on how stubborn the pilot wants to be. Okay, it wouldn't fit in like that. Will it fit in like this? Quite possibly. Do I have enough patience? We'll see. Will it fit up here? Maybe? No? It better hurry up and decide it's going to fit somewhere, because I'm about to lose patience with it. I can just sit here and... Okay, I just lost patience with it. Pilot, will we be able to get you in there? Kind of, actually. Neat. Well, have to remember, have to lower. Nope, okay, neat. I'm trying to adjust the camera so I can be a little further back. There we go. That's... Sorry, I'm recording off of that camera, and it is tough. I was going to have it just kind of viewing the table, but that's not really working, so... Mostly because I hold the model parts in the air while I'm working on them. Okay. Now... I love it. I have to hold the heat gun far back, otherwise I actually see the pilot moving. There we go. So, now comes the fun part. We are going to try to actually put this thing together. Which, again, shouldn't be a problem, right? Or wrong. Because it doesn't actually fully fit. And it's a cheaper made parts made way back when. Here, I guess we can turn it a little like this now. I'm trying to get the cameras about as close of an angle while still being able to read the one from TikTok. Okay. So if nothing else, I will be using a lot of glue. Sandpaper, folks, it pays dividends. Well, thank you, Dwayne, my favorite fish. Shall certainly stay safe. I love thinking about looking back on the video. Or if anyone is just watching the video later, if I ever actually manage to post it. They're like, okay, who the heck's Dwayne and why is he his favorite fish? But I don't know. For a little explanation for the camera that is recording, Dwayne popped in and said, hello, my friend. Remember to stay safe. Sincerely, your favorite fish. So thank you very much, Dwayne. It is greatly appreciated. There we go. Ha! Ish. I mean, it doesn't exactly fit together well, but that's, you know what, we'll just chalk it up to Soviet engineering. Why is my alarm going off again? Thought I'd turn that off. Now, there's nothing to be said bad about Soviet equipment. Well, that's not true, but you can say bad things about a lot of equipment. The Soviet design philosophy was always, let's make a lot of rugged, machines able to get the job done, but they didn't really excel in any area. Like, that was the Soviet design philosophy, and a rather necessary one. And this one's going to have a lot of cracks that are going to be covered up later. With snips. I'm not going to use them to snip. I'm going to use it to hold it together while the glue dries. There's creases all over it. Just trying to... Again, this is an older model, so it's not going to fit together as well as the newer ones. Just kind of shocks me that something can be out there since 1972 and never be made. Oh, hey, great, another spur. And again, I'm starting to see why. Come on. Work with me. Hey, if you keep this up... Well, I can't exactly threaten to use the armored car because... Instead as a base, because the armored car is tiny. Like, it's got a lot of parts, which is very good. So this is going to turn into a more, like, futuristic-looking plane with a lot of extra stuff and extra armor. So I can't complain too much about it, son of a... But it just doesn't fit together well. At least I'm thankful that on the top, on the spine, it's not actually a piece that's joining directly together. That spine piece is actually overlapped and covered by one solid piece. Come on. But if you can see in the back, I'm trying to match those up, and they're not wanting to match up. And that's a pain, to say the least. Come on. Oh, well, there goes the pilot. So I guess all the effort I put into him is unnecessary. Oh, hey, look, Soviet philosophy. Come on, dry. At this point, I'll be using wood glue to splat this entire thing together. I am not above it. Thankfully, I've got a lot of time today. I got about 4 hours to put this together before I have to go into work. But that being said, I have to work later, so I don't want it to take 4 hours. And for this part, I might actually need the wood glue. Because there's a sizable crease right there that is not fitting together. You can kind of see how quote-unquote well-designed it is. Just put it over there. If my camera can adjust in quality. Oh, hey, there's a piece of hay sticking right in front of it. There's another piece. Get out of there. So, yeah. Not the greatest quality. But that is why we have more than just glue and snips in our kit. And considering no one has put any challenges for this build, come on, work for me. I am free to use whatever is in my kit that I wish. Even if it looks ridiculous. Remember, folks, if it looks stupid, but it works, it ain't stupid. Just go ahead. You keep putting creases all around this, and I lose patience, and I'm using wood glue. And this wood glue is actually pretty tough stuff. I am currently working on a phone stand for this specifically, so I don't have to just keep leaning it up or putting it in stuff it's not supposed to be in. And this, I really don't have any complaints about this stuff. I can use it for a filler pretty easily too. I don't know why I was holding it right on the spot I needed glue when I can hold it further back on the fuselage and not get my fingers warm. Okay, there's that first coat. And I'm doing a filler on it, so I'm going to be having to do several coats. Let's see. This is why I keep my trash pile around. One man's junk is another man's treasure. Or in this case, one man's junk is the same man's treasure. Alright. Let's see. I'm kind of disappointed Southern hospitality ain't popping in, or is it Southern living? I guess I can't be too disappointed if I can't even remember the guy's name, but I miss him. He was very talkative last time. At least I got you, Dan. Make me not alone. And I guess 3 other people who decided to stick around. Thank you. Kind of surprising, but thank you. Alright, let's see. I keep getting notifications up on TikTok to invite people to join live. I don't want to. Alright, if I try it anymore, it's going to burn it. So, I'm not prepared to set a fire here. We'll call that good for getting that crease done. It just makes me mad, you know? Alright. You know what I need? I need tape. Oh, I do have tape. Can I find the open one? No, that's okay. Oh, that's why my open one's in my painting kit. This thing doesn't want to stay together. Well, this thing's damn well staying together. There we go. There's a right way to do it, and there's a me way to do it. And I'm doing the me way. It's going to take a little bit to dry. Thankfully, I have time on my hands, because I want to get this done today. I don't want to have to take 2 different days to do this. I'm just going to put this here for now. The pilot is apparently getting thrown into a junk drawer, as well as whatever this is. Excuse me. And also, fun fact, the guy who sells these models has a bunch of, like, half model kits, used ones, so he's going to start weighing them out and selling those kits, and I've got a pretty good junker drawer going on as is, like, but I'd go ahead and get a bucket, and we'd see what we could create out of it, maybe on months where I'm running low on money. Alright. So, I think this would be wing gear. Not a wing gear, dear Lord above. See, this is kind of what I'm talking about too, right here. Like, that is a wheel. You can see the other wheel, up here. So, there's a lot of extra stuff around there I have to take care of. Am I going to take care of it? Absolutely not. Because I have other options. And the fun thing is, I actually got a base for this one. Like, I can go ahead and, if I can get it attached right, you'd think they'd actually make an attach point at the bottom. I'll make an attach point at the bottom. But I'll be able to actually have this thing in the air. So I don't have to go ahead and worry about what munitions is touching the ground and what ain't. I don't have to worry about the gears. Haha. I guess I shouldn't take... I might as well do it right now as that's drying. If I can. Let's see. This one, I'm not going to worry about the wood glue too much. Or the actual model glue too much. I'll just paint over it too if necessary. Just need to get it in there. Dear Lord. Okay. That's where it'll fit in. Time to glue the heck out of it. I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying to keep it PG. You have any idea how hard it is for me? Okay, and apparently a lot of people can get away with watching stuff like this Monday mornings. Y'all have really cool bosses. I mean, mine doesn't really care that much if I'm on my phone, but I don't think I could get away with watching it live. Well, let's go ahead and put together the munitions while the fuselage decided it's going to actually stay when I ask it to, or demand it to, with a lot of wood glue. These will be the rocket pods. Ah! You heard nothing? Yeah, I need to start getting paper down again. I'm just paranoid after that last windstorm blew everything. So, next week, I suppose I'll actually have that down. I don't really have any, looking around, I don't really have anything right now that I can do with that. To be honest, I kind of imagine the rocket pods looking different, really. Oh. Son of a... Where's the drop? Wait, hold on. I think that's because that's the actual drop tanks. Just glue the paper down. That's actually not a bad idea. My problem is if I ever want to get it up again. It's not the rocket pods. This is a fuel actual drop tank. But at the same time, where are my rocket pods? Okay, trying to get... Yeah, it should be like that. No, seriously though, where are my rocket pods? This thing did a standard carry of 2 external fuel drop tanks and 2 rocket pods. Where are my pods? One wasn't fitting together well. I'm looking over to my kit, and I don't see any. I am definitely going to get the engine on there, don't get me wrong. Come on. Do as I command. Come on. That's it. This is the last Soviet aircraft I'm working on. Okay, not really, but that's how I feel. Where's that tape? Okay. You stay down. I'm not asking. I have an idea. I'm going to use the instructions for the armored car to put these on while it's drying. Seriously. This one has to be one of the cheapest ones I've worked on. And that's including the $6 one. At least the $6 one went together fairly well. Okay. No. You stay glued. Or taped. Yeah, I'm sure taped is an actual term. Alright, let's try to get this one done. We'll see if it works any better than the other one. Will it? I doubt it. At least the Wi-Fi is cooperating. Last week it did not. Literally was blown. And then it wouldn't work. It was neat. It was really fun. Okay, you should be interchangeable. Why are you not I will wood glue you too. Don't even think that I won't. I feel like a parent. Come on. Don't be like your brother. Cooperate. Jeez. I think it'd be a little easier, but nope. Well, are you going to stay together? You're not really dried yet. I'll give you another dousing of the heat gun. It's not like I can just let it stay set and dry that way. Like, I can't, not if I'm trying to get this done somewhat quickly. Like, 4 hours seems like a nice chunk of time, so you realize everything that's going to go into that time constraint. That's why I'm doing this early in the morning. Normally, Mondays, I wouldn't actually be working, so I'd be like, who cares if I spend the entire day doing this? But, you know, I can't. I've got work later. So when the boss has gone on vacation, and I actually need to be there for the full week. I usually work part-time. I guess that's a roundabout way of just explaining that simple fact. Great. And the problem running into it is running into it again. It's not fitting together well. Like, just the actual model. So we're going to have a very interesting time about this, won't we? I wonder how much filler is going to be needed to use. We'll find out. Okay, come on. You follow the curvature of the tail fin. Work! Okay, guess not. There. That's the correct way you're supposed to go, huh? Yeah? So work. I feel like Patrick, so take it. It's not my wallet. Jeez. We haven't even gotten on the part of making an abomination's already giving me a headache. Frickin' MiGs. Again, the MiG was a good fighter, but it was a pain. That'll work. The nice thing about this stuff is it does dry. It's not really on the camera. This stuff does dry pretty quickly, and when it dries, it is strong. No complaints about that. But it's not really up to the job of filling in creases, you know? Alright. That's off it at least. Technically, I also have like the Elder's Glue cement, but Elmer's, dear Lord above. We're also going to put these over here for a second, and we are going to use the instructions on the armored vehicle, which I will never actually use, as our paper. Because this is a very old desk, and it desperately is in need of a new paint job, as well as gloss. Pins of it just keep ending up on the walls. I already have enough problems putting this together. I don't need that to become one of them. So I'm not worrying about the landing gear or anything like that. So I'm not really in a... Ooh, I should... Second up. Really? Man, I gotta argue with it now. So I'm not really in as much of a problem of, hey, I have to put these together one piece at a time. This is where it's making me mad. Seriously, why would you have that little divot there. If it doesn't match up on this one. Sandpaper to the rescue. Oh, yeah, I'm just looking at it, and again, they don't match up. It makes no sense to me. And I know it. I'm going to blame it on the Russians. I know it's the manufacturer's fault. Just let me have this. Really? We're doing the same thing? I'm not sure how to explain it to the manufacturer, but the wings aren't supposed to be separate. Like, you're not supposed to be able to fit a couple, like a sheet of sandpaper through the wings. That's not how they're supposed to be made. Seriously, it's ridiculous. Get it a little more on the same setup as that camera. Of course, the camera's got little Canons have little pieces all over them. What the fuck? One sec. I'm no expert. But what? Why? That's my... I have an idea. Where's all the weaponry parts? Sorry. It's gonna be a big hole, so we're just gonna put the turret over that. Yeah. Like... Oh, wait. Aw. Okay, thank God. I got confused, I got turned around. Thank you, completely, chat, for paying complete attention. Go, hey, it's the same wing, dumbass. I was very worried there. Now I have absolutely no idea why there's paneling, but there is. We're going to use that to our advantage. I think my chat wants to see me fail at this point. Come on, Dan. How could you? After all we've been through together, the whole, 3 lives? And there's no sign of Southern, which makes me sad. And these wing structures are still little bits and pieces are scattered through them, which ain't making it glue down correctly. You have any idea how tempted I am just to grab the wood glue and smack this sucker together? If I'm not, I won't lose my temper on a model. Oh, hey, it's actually starting to become sunny. That's nice. Yesterday, nice rain. Which, I get why we need rain, but it does not, repeat, does not mean I have to be happy about it. Okay. The frick's with these wing spurs? I don't get it. I say cheap. These are just poorly made. They're not made from cheap materials. They're just not well made. Sorry, I'm hearing a bike coming on up. Love how this valley echoes. Right. Now the wings, this section of the wings, I'm not too worried about because, again, I'm going to just glue them on here. But still annoying as... Oh, you are fitting in there whether you like it or not. Prepare for vengeance! Daddy, I don't want to be a wing. I don't care. Come on! Okay, if I break this, I'm just going to fit it together another way. There you go. First wing on. Pain in the ass is what it is. I'm going to be going through and filling in so many gaps with wood glue after this. I don't know why they made it to have that paneling in the wing up. I really don't. Oh, come on. Really? You're more trouble than your brother was. Get in there! Oh yeah, we got a nice gap. And when I say nice, I am being very sarcastic right now. But at least it's looking like a plane. This wood glue. I will be painting over the wood glue so you can't see it, but I need a filler. And I bought this for two purposes. One, to glue things that don't want to glue together with the model glue. And two, fill in shit. So it's really doing admirably on those points. You know what would be hilarious? For me to take either the German or the US markings that I still have and slapping them on here. Like, this was from the Albatross D3. I could just put that on here. I actually think I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it funny. But now... They put a lot of details in this model together for the... I'm just going to set this a little further front. As far as the wheels go. So the Ba-1 had dual tandem wheels in the rear, and that seems to be a lot of what's going on. As far as, like... I think these are just specifically for the axles and wheels. Which is really cool, because this... How expensive were these? 1 second. I want to look at the price difference, just as they were priced. The MiG-19 was $10. The Ba-1... somewhere? Oh, here it is. It was $15. And this one was more off because it was pre-owned. But... Oh, I'm tired. But you could definitely see the quality difference and kind of just how when time advanced. Now, am I going to put this together correctly? Absolutely not. We're not even going to start putting this thing together correctly. The main thing that I want to put on this is the turret. I want to get that somewhere. The problem is, maybe I could just kind of curve it around to fit on the back there. That might be neat. Or have it underneath it, kind of like a bomber one, like right here. So we're going to really just look on the turret for right now. And the turret did have a 37mm gun with 34 rounds of ammo. But this thing didn't see combat. That's just the entire thing about it. Long and short of it is, it was obsolete by the time World War II came around. was made like the early 1930s. Let's see. We're gonna fit it in nice. That's one over there. I really like the idea of kind of like, if I had a mini saw, I need to get a mini saw. Someone remind me of that. I'd take out this spine and put the turd in there. But I don't know. Maybe I'll find another way to do it. If nothing else, put the turd where the pilot's supposed to go. I know, really weird laugh. I might just forego any of the main armaments. Just be smacking stuff on down there. Well, we'll find it out. No matter what occurs, it will be an abomination, just as promised. Okay, looking over it, I believe that's not it. This may very well be the actual cannon. Just want to look it over, make sure there's no other ones. Again, the 37 millimeters isn't anything big, per se. You had 20 to 30 millimeters being on aircraft with some strike variations of the German side in the later part of the war, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Being equipped with, like, freaking... There was one plane that had a 75 millimeter cannon on it. They were madmen. But even this was... The MiG-19 was equipped with 30 millimeter cannons, 3 of them, so... It may have been impressive back in 1930, but it really wasn't by the time it actually mattered. Alright, I'm just trying to fit this in, figure out how fully it fits in while that's drying. Still mad at it. I'm mad at the manufacturer more than anything. Like, come on. Take a little pride in your work. Look at me. I'm making abominations and I still have pride about it. Mostly. Well, maybe if I just get it set in like that. Yeah, technically, not supposed to be how it goes, but you know what? None of this is technically how anything's supposed to go. So maybe the basic shape of the MiG. Come on, you sorry son of a... I'll leave there. Okay. In order to actually glue this, I'm gonna have to... I'm just messing around with these two parts for like 5 minutes. I apologize. Work for me. Please, please, work for me. It's not going to. Fine. That'll work. Well, I feel like Thanos. If I can't hit you with a hammer, I'll hit the hammer with you. There we go. I will use wood glue on you too. Don't even tempt me. All right. Tempted to use that heat gun on my fingers. Holy crap. Now, let's see how well this thing's coming along. Well, how far this thing's coming along is better. Well, it is not. Alright, let's... Oh, boy. I'm so screwed. So, normally... You'd find in models that you'd have a, just like on the wings, an area in the back for this thing to actually have these. I'm annoyed right now, so the name's escaping me, but you don't, actually, on this one. Like, straight up. There is no slot in the back. Where is that? Now, they're supposed to fit in, if I can get it correct, right about here. I'm not sure at this point. I'm not freaking sure which way it goes. Okay, that kind of looks funny. I'm not gonna lie, that looks funny. But being serious, they're supposed to, and these are kind of grooved, angled, so you'd be able to fit them to the aircraft. But there is no actual slot for them, and you see how well this thing's actually fitting together. So, at this point, I'm actually going to turn it into a full-on abomination. Give me a minute. It's not wanting to fit together. I will make it fit together in the most unholy way that I can find. Right. We want to play that game. Well, that little stub right there, I have no idea why it's there, but it is now gone. We'll be taping this to hold it, because, again, this is getting fit together weirdly. I'm not even playing. This is maddening. Maddening is what it is. Who doesn't put... It's the first aircraft one, and yes, this is the second model abomination I've done. I will acknowledge that. But this is not the first model I've done. Let's see, I'm counting 5 aircraft just in sight right now. So, the fact that this is the only one I have seen where it's like, hey, we won't go ahead and put a slot for these fins. Okay, fine. Well, we'll just make them terrible. Okay, now let me figure out the worst looking way to put these together. Oh, that's not bad. Alright. I think I can go a little off the wing right here. We want to make these terrible, we will make them terrible. Holy cow. This is what they get for not giving me a proper area to put the tail down. And yes, theoretically, I could go ahead and glue it where it's supposed to be, okay? I could do that. Let me see, do I want it weirdly up here? Do I want it weirdly up here? Do I want just one fin like this? Theoretically, I could do that. And there's kind of a, blank spot, I think, where I could put those. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. Mad. I'm mad right now. That's all that this is. I'm trying to find the worst possible area. But these just look weird as hell. And we're gonna glue them here, and we're gonna stand them up. Really, I'm gonna stand them up. It's gonna take a lot of rubber cement. Put them right here. Making it an abomination anyways. It doesn't matter. I think I saw that back in my mind. It was like, oh, I don't really see a slot for the tail fins. And my mind just went on past it because I was focusing on other things. So we're gonna hold this for a few minutes. And then I'm gonna put the other one right on the other side. Yeah, because that's how we're putting the MiG. It wants to be annoying, I will out-annoy it. Where's that? Where's the canopy? Did it escape when I wasn't looking at? And we'll just paint the canopy black so no one can see that it's not being flown by a pilot. It's aliens, I tell you. It's aliens. I mean, not really, but good enough. It'll let go of my finger. Tell you what, this thing is being put together kicking and screaming. It is not user-friendly. that's not how the MiG-19 is supposed to look. You're damn right it's not how it's supposed to look. It's the entire point. Just can't touch that tail fin for a while. Glue along it. And when it dries, it'll actually hold it there very well. Like, I am very much impressed by that rubber cement. It annoys me. Fucking cold hands. I'm too cold to deal with this. No, Ian, this is a MiG-19, or at least it's supposed to be a MiG-19. Now, the funny part is this is model Abominations, so we don't put together the stuff the way it's supposed to be. And specifically, the tail fins really annoyed me. So we're combining the MiG-19S, otherwise known as the Farmer, with the Ba-1 armored car. And the MiG-19S, while it was being put together, annoyed the ever-loving crap out of me because it's a kind of poorly made model. And so, like, not the plane itself, it's just that whoever manufactured it did not do a good job. So, we are putting it together weirdly. And that's what we do here. It's literally just... Well, thank you very much for the follow. We will be doing this every couple weeks. Going to build, and then I will be doing pictures of the finished product once it's both put together and painted. Because the painting is really what's going to make it actually look somewhat believable. Ah! I got the tail fin. I do want to get my hands on an F-16 model. They are amazing aircraft, and one of my personal favorites. I can't say it's my complete favorite, but definitely one of the top tiers. I need to move this up a little to get it. Funny enough, I'm like, oh, I'll just slap it where it's weird and call it good. And I'm like, oh, are they even? And they're different sizes. Like, this is a little ahead, I kid you not. So they're about even on the back, and yet this one sticks out a little. Ah! Yeah. MiG-19, not a bad aircraft. This model kit, bad. And I actually want to get a hold of... I'm going to write that down real fast. I don't have a pencil. I will remember that real fast. I want to get a hold of an F-100, because I haven't heard a lot about that aircraft, and I want to know more. It definitely sounds like an interesting aircraft. German Stuka. That is also a good idea. One second. I'm actually going to screenshot this real fast. Apologies for the hand. That was just changing the volume. Come on. Screenshot it. Yes! And so, Ian, in case you didn't know, why it's called Model Abominations is... Ooh. And Paul. Thank you. But Model Abominations is... We go ahead and take two different aircraft, or actually, not just aircraft. Like, for example, this is a Ba-1 armored car, which is going to be combined, and we take two different vehicles, just craft from history, slap them together, and then I will later go ahead and actually put up the history for both of them. Gotcha. And we'll definitely look into that. I'm using a toothpick. Well, no, I got it screenshotted. I was like, yeah, we'll go ahead. Panzer Stuka, also a good idea. That'd be very interesting. I do want to go ahead and get a little more into building land vehicles and aircraft together. But yeah, the MiG-19 was annoying me. usually about right here, or where the actual tail fins are supposed to go, there will be a slot for it, a lot like on the wings on this one. I've built 5 or 6 aircraft so far. I know I'm new to it, but every single one had a slot specifically designed for that. And this was a model, actually, this model kit was built back in 1972. So there's a lot of things that the newer ones have, like around here, like on the actual pieces. I know you can't see it very well, but the plastic thins on out when connecting the pieces. P-51 Mustang, funny you should mention that. I got a model kit that was not complete, so I wasn't able to fully put it together. It did not have the assembly for the prop, so or a couple of the gears. It was a pre-owned one, so I didn't have all the pieces to finish it. Which actually is one of the things that gave me the idea to combine it with other craft and make abominations. So that's what we're doing. But yeah, the tail fin there was no slot for the tail fin. So I basically did this because I got annoyed as hell at it. It's like, fine, I wasn't putting you together correctly to begin with, and you want to be annoying about it. Now you've got 3 horizontal, vertical tail fins because that is apparently what we're doing now. Try to get the canopy to fit. So the kit just was not put together well, so it has been an annoyance. As Dan, he's been here for... It's been about an hour trying to put this thing together, and that's not even into the abomination section of it. But we're just going to set that to the side. Ooh. Again, it's 55, maybe. No. Yeah, about 55. Right now, up on the mountain. Partly cloudy. I'm in a metal building. An open metal building, so it's freaking cold at this point. Okay, so, as expected, these are not being put together well. So essentially, we'll be taking a lot of the spare parts from the armored car and slapping it wherever we want to on the MiG-19. Airbolg. I've never heard of that one, actually. Another screenshot. Alright, that was actually going along pretty well. Now we'll have to look at... How do you pronounce that? Beluga? I'll have to look it up. Next... Oh, I'm not... Here in 2 weeks when we do the next build, and the reason I do it every 2 weeks is because paycheck. I normally work part-time, and this can be a very expensive hobby when you start adding it up. So it will be a couple weeks before the next build, and that one we are doing a B-17 because it was requested from a patron, and patrons always get first pick on what gets put together. Where am I at? I am in the Pacific Northwest. I apologize, I'm not really any more comfortable giving a more specific location than that. But B-25, that was actually a consideration. Like, not gonna lie. In the South, I would ask for you to send some heat this way, but at this point, I'm afraid to ask. Really, the weather just doesn't like me. But where was I? Right, B-25 is actually consideration. And again, next week there was a patron request for a B-17 and a C vessel, so I'm looking at picking up a destroyer. But the B-25 is one of the things we're looking at combining with B-17 because I actually know that patron in real life. They're a coworker. But we really decided that the B-25, it'd be not the greatest fit with the B-17. There would be a lot we could do. So we decided with the C vessel instead, but those are definitely lists that I will look to grab. Alright, so I like the idea of the whole Panzer Stuka. Not gonna lie, that'd be fun. Now, we've got things at least partly put together. Now comes the abomination part. I mean, we're already kind of there at that point, but... And this is why a paint job can make the entire difference. Doolittle Bombers are good B-25 paint job? Yes, they are. 1 second. I think I can actually show you the example. Actually, not even the example. I can show you the actual one I did last week, if I can find it. I kind of have a messy area. Where is it? I literally had it here this morning. What the heck? Okay, my F-18's back there. Where did I put that thing? 1 second. I'm trying to find things. Things are not wanting to be found. Oh, it fell. That's why. Hang on. I'm coming for you, little guy. Oh, I didn't realize how stiff I was, so I stood up. This is what we did last, well, not last week, but last go-around. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but this is actually an Albatross D3 with a lot of the external weaponry of the Mirage 3. And we delved into the history on both of those. Finally got the gloss on it, so it should be a little easier at the weather. French. Yeah, the Dassault Mirage 3 was a French second-generation fighter jet, and the Albatross D3 was a German World War I biplane. It was actually used by the Red Baron prior to his unit acquiring the triplanes that they are known for. But that was Jasta 11, and in the period known as Bloody April, they went ahead and downed a third of the total British air losses. It was not a battle that looked kindly on the British. But yeah. And that is the build that I had a giant windstorm in the middle of it, so I actually had to do it in 2 separate lives. And I lost my original pair of snips, and so I had to replace them this last week. But yes, it has the... like Blitzkrieg. Great. But it does have the oops, on you for spotting that. It does have the French markings on it, because I took the markings from the Mirage and threw those on there. Alright, well, that looks sturdy enough to start putting extra parts on, and we have all these extra parts. Fun, right? How's the turret coming along? Oops. The turret ain't coming along well. So this is where we're like, okay, what can fit where? Which is going to be a little more difficult, considering, again, we are not looking at 2 aircraft, which you could at least, on the last one that you saw, there were... Oh, I need to get some filler in there. You know, there were... I'm not going to say they were completely compatible, but I could at least get the external weapons load from the Mirage on, and it had a bunch of extra parts slapped on. It didn't... That's why, again, the paint job is going to be crucial for making this look believable. I am trying to make it look somewhat believable. So, let's see. Well, first I'm going to get the turret on there, because that is definitely one part that I'm going to want. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put it, but it's going on somewhere. And should be it. Ooh. Oh, that's a very cold breeze. Whew. Right. And that's going to be a problem. There's no... I'm hoping there's a front to this. Okay, there is the part that goes on the front of the armored car. There's the doors. There's the top turret. That's going to definitely go somewhere. I'm hoping the front of the turret's got a couple parts. And there's also that gaping hole. Alright. Maybe I'll actually use a correct part. Huh? Ian left. Where do they have that? I don't know. That's going to stick out. Neat. Come on. Seriously. When you put a model together, like when you put the kit together to sell, why would you not make sure that it's actually put together correctly? Well, before we get too hasty, let's go ahead and look at what I might be able to use. Let's see here. Let's see. Will it look better down or up? I'm thinking down. Alright, time to begin the abomination. Doctor, bring me my scalpel! I don't need you to dry immediately. I need you to actually stay wet for a second. Don't take that out of context. Alright. First piece of the armored car is going on. Make it look weird. It looks like it's wearing a mask. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, this is gonna look so weird by the time it's done. Back to the turret. With enough faceplates, you'd think that there'd be actual one for the front of that. Ooh, it's cold. But it's not, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, wait. Maybe. Kind of. I think that's it. Maybe. That'll be it. Yep. Armored plating. Yeah, it's... the cone for the actual plane ain't fitting in too well, because again, it's a very cheaply made part and kit. So the armored plating from the armored car is going over the front, and we're basically just going to armor it up, and then when we paint it, which will be Thursday because it's the day I have off, then we'll actually make it look somewhat decent. Until then, I have found the piece for the turret that'll make it actually look decent. And later on, I will be getting a very small saw to go ahead and mutilate these designs and make them look exactly how I want. But for now, I will content myself to just using the snips. Telling you to look identical to an F-100. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Funny story about that. So the MiG-19 we bought in 1969. Or was it 1989? Sorry, 1989. The Soviet Union stopped manufacturing them in 1988. But the Chinese actually manufactured the same model under the export name J6, and we bought one. It was later classified, I believe, as or not classified, named, for lack of a better term, the F6 by the United States. So we actually acquired a MiG, and were able to fully study it. So a lot of this main shape of our dogfighters after that were no doubt at least partly influenced by the MiG. Because after the Vietnam War, or really during it, we had to really examine our fighters again, because the MiG-19s and then their successors, the MiG-21s, were absolutely handing us our asses. They were more agile, they had cannons, unlike our F-4 Phantoms. You really like the World War I plane? Well, I am glad you really liked it. Here, you can take another look if you'd like. I do have all the pictures of it up on my Patreon, and the Patreon does not cost anything. Like, it's not being charged for. All the posts on there are free. I've got that link in the bio. It's got all the pictures of these. I get enough patrons, and I will actually start sending out these abominations to whoever wants them, as far as like on the patron list. I know, kind of shameless self-plug, but here, that can sit right there so you can look at it a little more. Alright, that's... I don't want to do anything till that nose piece is really dried, but I can set this down at least. Maybe? Stay. Alright. Freaking. This is an hour and a half at this point. Freaking cold. Keep my hood up. I don't know why I put that down in the first place. Alright, now I'm going to move this on out of here. Just because I don't need it in the area. The turret's there. Now to figure out a little more. I'm going to be slapping a bunch of stuff onto the wings of that thing. Just because that's probably the best part for it. It's going to be come out looking like some Mad Max shit. Seriously. Alright. I almost clipped my fingernail. Okay, there's that. Will I be able to put it really on? Maybe, not really. I know. Don't have to look at me like that, Dan. I know. Shameless self-plug telling him, hey, my Patreon's here. All the pictures up there. I know. I can hear you. And I am at 44% on my phone, so I'm going to be plugging that in here in a few. Alright. I'm not sure if I'll be using this. I'll be able to use that piece, though. Looks like it might be the grill for the armored car. Definitely all the wing pieces can just be set along the bottom and looking like they're actually supposed to be there. No, the wheel pieces. I think I said that. Alright. Start of the Abomination. Now, well, I guess continuing on to the Abomination. Trying to get it even. Am I going to explain why I'm putting it here? No, I am not. Come back here. Come on. Ooh, wait, actually, better idea. Come back here. Oh, well. And I'll just have them on each side. Wait a second. Can it be a shameless self-plug if it's my thing? Like, I'm not on another... I don't know. Considerations for later. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Really weird, but that's why we're here. Separate it out a little. There we go. These. And 2 more set back here. Should work. It's going to look a lot better when I actually get a paint job on this thing, but that is neither here nor there. Well, technically it's there. The front wheels so they're not sticking as well. That doesn't really matter. It'll get secured either way. Seriously, I'm surprised about how strong the cement is. I am going to need to figure something out for the wintertime doing this. Because I need somewhere that's got ventilation. Because of all the freaking glue I deal with. Oh, if I'm able to do it through the wintertime at this point, maybe we'll just save up models. If it's only 55, 60, so when it gets down to 30, 20, 10, it's going to be a little more interesting. Alright, let's see what other stuff I can smack into the bottom here. Smack on the bottom. Alright. Sweet, I got another set of this. Where'd the first one go? I'm losing stuff. I have another set of those right here, which means I can throw them onto the top of the plane like I was originally planning. And I was giving halfway consideration to painting the parts before I put them on, but then I found out that the paint and the rubber cement doesn't work. It doesn't. Does not mix. Found that out when I was trying to put the stuff on the, not symbols, not insignias, country symbols for the planes. Maybe I won't be dealing with the back wheels if they don't stick on well. Well, that one sticks on just fine. So never mind. Get on there! Trying to remember the name of those things, and I can't. Technically, decals. We'll just call them decals for now. I'll find the actual name later. I was finding out when I was dealing with the decals that the rubber cement actually eats away at all of it. The paint, the decals. So I can't paint them before I put them on because I'd have to go through and paint them again, which makes it a pain, but... Alright. Let's try. Our old friend. I love it. TikTok just posted a notification for me that reads, great job so far. Okay, that's enough of that. You've gone live for 90 minutes. What? Don't forget to take a break. I would if I could, Mom, but that's not really an option right now. Okay. Okay. I'm going to put these at the top, so I'm going to save it. Oh. We have more. So I didn't have to deal with these being annoying. Well, I'll just put the rest of them along the bottom just like that. You know, in for a penny, in for a pound. Or, in American, in for a pickle, in for a cheeseburger. Oh! It tried to escape. It did not succeed. Ah, son of a... Owie. I gotta think of more interesting things to say when the builds drag on like this. But that's... The armored car, there's literally nothing in it for as far as history goes. Like, it was made as the first armored vehicle of the USSR. And it did spur a lot of successful successors, like an entire product line, but it didn't see any action. Like, seriously, the history I covered in it was 2 minutes. I still have to get that edited and posted, but yeah. And then for the MiG, it was a long history, but it lasted 20 minutes. So it's not, even if I had the notes with me and was reading them, it would have been over for like an hour. And people don't exactly, well, other than you, Dan, thank you, don't exactly want to watch a guy just do this the entire time. They like lives that are snappy and fast and all that. Something interesting going on. It's going to look cool as hell when it's done, people. And I don't actually think I'm going to use these two pieces because the last time I did that, they were a pain. So those go in the box. The box of shame. Alright, so where am I going to put the turret? Because I do want to put the turret somewhere. Yeah, I kind of wish I could carve into the back here. Could I put it... It's one of the things I really wanted to use the turret, but I'm not sure if I get it at that point. Use some wood glue as a filler. Because I do really want to use it. Like, jeez, it's cool. So, there's slot for a machine gun. Does that fit in here? No, technically that would go in the front of my car. I gotta figure out where the actual piece is. Oh, the back. As much as I don't want this thing to drag on, I really don't want to have to come back and redo it. I do a second one to get it all complete. I have everything I need here, so I figure maybe I can just go for it. Ooh, little armored majiggy right there. That's neat. Just smack it on there. Put on there? No? Yes? Maybe? What's going on there? Figure out which part's the actual cannon. Will that fit in? Not really, but if the other one doesn't, we'll make it fit. Oh, neat! I think that actually goes on a little square right there. Okay. Yep. It will. I love how I'm actually trying to get the turret right. And again, out of every single tank, I'm not going to lie, the turret's my favorite part. If it doesn't have a cool turret, I am not interested in it. I will tattle on myself, I don't care. Come on, get in there. Ha! Brute force, who says it doesn't work? My lower back is killing me. Okay. There's something that looks like it fits. If I can avoid dropping it on everything. Of course I hit flight. Okay. Will it fit like that? Oops. Will it fit like this? That's the best fit. Without snapping it, preferably. Sorry. Trying to stay out of the frame. Really looks like it goes like that. So, let's see if we can do this without snapping it, because if we snap it, I'm going to be very mad. Ah! Okay. What we have learned here is a valuable lesson. That valuable lesson is when I'm snapping a small piece from the frame, don't not hold on to it. Put the other thing down in your hand, because that just joined the Air Force. That little one piece did. In fact, you could have it appropriate to say it just joined the Space Force, because it is gone. Yeah, that's completely gone. Oops. Oh. Whoopsie. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen. Again, not a lot's supposed to happen there. At least the cannon's still here. Which, that was the actual place for it. So, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with now. With that glue gun. Yep. Right after I told myself to put the stuff down. Yeah. That's how well I listen to myself. Imagine how well I listen to others. Just some more filler. And I do actually like the green colored models more because you almost don't need to do a paint job. I'm not saying you don't need at all, but it's a lot more forgiving. I have to like have this set up against something. Toothpick container, come here. They're going to be useful whether you like it or not. Oops. Apparently it didn't like it, and that it told me it in no uncertain terms. Let's see if I can just have it sitting down, I suppose, but first, I'll have it just try to stand up and at least dry some of the base. Yeah, later on, I was probably going to do a junk model, just out of, like I said, the guy that I get models from is actually going to start weighing out incomplete sets and just selling them by weight. And I imagine they're going to be pretty cheap because not a lot of people actually want an incomplete model. But considering I'm like, hey, maybe I'll do just a junk build one of these days, I think it'd be neat. Okay, that's actually setting in pretty well, actually. Surprisingly. Something's got to go right for me. So, we're going to try setting this for right here, and hopefully that holds it up and lets it dry. Ooh, as I warm up my hands real fast. Oops. Okay, that tipped over, but that's not a problem. Ooh. Problem's going to be figuring out how to fix that, put the turret on it, because I really do. Like, that's kind of the entire thing. It's like, hey, here's the armored car, here's the turret. But I'm thinking if I can snap this and maybe sand it down, I can get a flat enough area to put that turret. So, about how big is that? So, first things first, I'm gonna measure this son of a bitch out. Well, I suppose first thing is going to be right here, maybe easier, but right here would probably look cooler, so. It's not even hard plastic, so. Sorry. I have a little more over here. I'll try to measure an actual piece out. Is that about it? Nope, a little shorter. Maybe I should actually get a measuring tape. Yeah, we'll call it that. So, right there. Yep. Okay. I know, chopping sandpaper into pieces with the scissors. Recipe for Dolan, but at this point, I need it. It's 10 o'clock already? Trying to not snap off a part that I have delicately placed there. Hang on a second. Let me get the rougher sandpaper. I don't need it to be finally sanded down. I need it to be gone. So. Oh yeah, that's working a lot better. I need a saw. Something. Future kit. Small saw. Just trying to get a flat area so I can put the turret down. Nope. Owie. Alright. Okay. Fingers. Taking quite a bit of the plastic away. I mean, it's still not technically enough. Oops. But that's still not done drying. I should have taken it like that. Alright, I will fill the rest of it in with wood glue. I can't afford to spend my entire time here trying to sand down the back of an airplane. Okay, let's see. These were what I was planning next, somewhere along the wing. That right there. Let's see. There we go. Neat. Got a little external pieces onto it, which is what this is entirely about. Mutilating it. I should really watch my language more. Oh, ouch. My back. I can't even say almost done and give myself that consolation, because we're not. We're not almost done. Am I even going to be bothering with these at this point? They just annoy me, so no. I'll put them to the side, but let's face it. much this plane's ticking me off. Let's see. Yeah, not worry about that right now. No quite obvious place. Let's look at some more pieces, huh? What's those? Just look interesting. I'm going to not make the same mistake. I'm going to put this down. Where is the entire question? Here. Remind me to build a basically little rope hang for aircraft later. So when I'm building them and I'm like, I can't set these on the ground, I can have somewhere to set them. Okay. Oh, let's just go ahead and cover this up, huh? I don't know what that is, but we're going to cover it with something else that I don't know what it is. And let's put something on the cockpit, because why not? Maybe I should get some string, Make stuff actually look like it's supposed to connect. I hate the fact that they did that. It seemed so unnecessary. Do I have the wings on upside down? No. I don't think so. Like, the only thing I would think of is that's... Let's see. Oh! I have the wings on upside down. I have never, ever in my entire life seen those be on the top of an aircraft, but it is. I don't know why. It makes no sense to me, which is why I did it like that. So that's why. Those are supposed to be for the landing gears. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to see about covering those up. With what? I have absolutely no idea, but we will. Let's see. And we have more of these little parts. Of course, those are for the wheels, so it'll come in 6. Oops. Son of a... Another cold breeze coming in. My hands are growing more and more cold. Yeah, this is going swell. Seriously, this is like a second job, only I have to pay to do it. Let's put these along the wings as well. I'll put that one up there too, why not? There. It looks weird, no one knows what it is, and that's exactly what we go here for. There we go. Tell you what, my fine motor skills and attention to details are definitely improving doing this. Okay. That's a hair. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, yeah. But, ow! Let's see. How's that? Okay, those are secure enough that I can just set it down. I'm not gonna lie, it hits noon and we're done. Like, I've already spent 2 hours in this damn thing. Oh. I might just save the actual pieces of the armored car for later. Do another build. Alright. At this point, I'm just waiting for the turret to finish and just slapping random stuff on as I go. Gentlemen, not only do I have an idea, but I have a plan. Is this going to be dried? Yes. Alright. So we got the frame right here. Well, can't really see it, but... Yay! I have the car frame. I'm thinking... I can jerry-rig a little bit and give it a flatter surface to put the turret on. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Welcome back, Ian. We have come for a little ways since you left. Right now, it's kind of just jerry-rigging the plane to be able to fit that turret. Ta-da! They're actually the same size, or I guess the same ratio, 1/72. You can see the difference of the size of what these vehicles actually look like. Alright, that's actually going to fit pretty well, because then the turret will just rest on that. And I'm at 29% of my phone, so this carries on very much longer, which it will. I'll end up having to plug it in, so you guys will get shook around. Alright. Let's try to get a little more glue on that. Do I have any idea how I'm actually going to have this be able to, be displayed? Actually, kind of. I have something on the wings and support in the back. Oh, another cold breeze. Yes, I love it so much. Not really. Okay, seriously, that turret needs to stay right there. Uh-oh, I can't actually put that down. Neat. Because I have to do some more rubber cement over on the turret's cannon. It keeps wanting to move. That's going to be there for a little bit. Which means we have more time to just slap random parts on. Yay! Yeah, son of a biscuit. Alright, let's see what else we can do here, huh? Oh, we have more, looks like suspension. Let's get that out of there. Okay. I'm gonna have to get a more comfy chair or a better desk if this goes on. Which is going to... I'm actually probably going to go with a better desk. One that I can slide into so I'm not leaning over doing these. Okay. Most of the stuff on top seems to be staying secure. Oh. Yeah. You guys stay there. I have to address this. Note to self. Stop trying to glue things on aircraft when I have to flip it over. Okay, so we're just going to be working on the bottom, I guess. Yeah. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Got a lot more just smaller parts for the wheels mostly. So, not really seeing any place I can slap these on, at least not at the bottom. Addressing this. There's like one piece left on that. I think it's an axle. Alright. Maybe. Shoot. Not sure what we'll be doing. Nearing the end, though. Stay strong, people. Nearing the end. Or person, I guess. There's not a lot left in these. We're just going to throw those in the junk drawer. This is the main stuff left. There's some more armor plating and such. A couple I'm going to put up the top on the nose to try to make that little armor piece look a little more natural. Of course, we're going to use pretty much all the actual armor pieces. Because why not? Stay. Ooh, that's starting to melt them. Okay, give it a few more minutes to dry. Unfortunately, I can't rush it, although I would dearly love to at this point. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here to get irritated that this is taking so long. At least the tail fins seem to be staying okay. I know one of these days people are going to ask me, why did you put that here? Or why did you put that there? Somewhere. Hang on. I'm checking my... Sorry, Dan. I'm checking my notifications. Seeing what's on there. Who's disturbing me? Receipt attached. Neat. Big stretch. Oh, stuff about bills. That sucks. We're just going to set that there for a minute. Hey, it's actually staying. Neat. Address the concerns with the turret. Neat. And she kind of melted it so much in the glue that I was able to set it more back so it should stay. It just continued kind of falling out. Alright. Let me throw stuff onto the top before I try this. Because once I turn it over, I don't want to have to again. And again, this stuff is just... That's staying. I'm not even going to explain those. That's just staying. Anyone who knows anything about the MiG-19 is going to be like, hey, the wings are on upside down. I'm like, hey, you're right. I was kind of halfway through it before I realized. These are the rockets? Yeah, these are the rocket pods. Smaller than I expected. That's what she said. Alright. Now to get to the brass tacks. I'm getting hair blown over. It's my model. It's not a hairy model. Getting hungry at this point. Alright, we will try to finish this up. I'm not going to say quickly because I'm going to mess myself up if I try doing it quickly, but we're going to try to finish this up as swiftly as the model will allow. Because I'm really getting hungry. Sorry. Looking at this. I don't know why those are shaped like that, but hey. That snapped. Yep, that armor plate and snapped. So let's oh well. Things snap. It's just trying to I like it when they come in pairs because it's easier to figure out where to put them. Flip it over. Yeah, I already got a lot up there. Junk drawer. I don't really want to throw the doors on there because I don't think that would make a lot of sense. I know. So I hear the irony, but the problem is I can't really use a lot of the main pieces. This isn't going to really fit anywhere either. The turret will soon be put on there. This, I'm not sure. Will I be able to fit it along there? That'll fit. That'll work. I'm going to have to put glue up here to fill in stuff. Why is it there? Because it fits. I just know one of these days I'm going to go ahead and get that person going, well, why did you do this? I'm like, because it worked. What's the meaning behind putting this piece here? There is none. At this point, I'm wondering if I can get that fuel thing attached. Oh, in fact, if I put it a little... Oh. That would actually work too bad if I said it like that. Make it look more like an aircraft, too. Well, let's get the turret on, then we'll explore that possibility. There, it'll look like a rear gunner. We'll just ignore everything else about the weirdness of this aircraft and just call it a rear gunner. Whew. It's cold. That is a cold wind. Nowhere near 40 degrees cold, but okay, somewhat near 40 degrees cold. 15 degrees away. Really? Fine, we'll do it this way. Filling in. Ironically, that's what I'm doing at work right now. Filling in for people on vacation. Don't get me wrong, they certainly deserve to go on vacation. Alright. Now, a second more. Guess I'm going to do some wood glue again because it's a little stickier. Rubber cement along this. And along the drop tanks. Set it there. Ah, crap. And now comes the silent holding. It's going to take a lot of just work on the body before I'm able to paint it, just to get it looking correct. Fill in the gaps. The cannons I'm looking at right now, the cannons kind of have a split in them because of the poor quality of the kit. Ah, come on, work for me. I may have to take this part out completely. Let's try this one again. Come on. Well, while we're waiting, let's talk about the X4. Now, the X4 was the first technical air-to-air missile. It was developed by the Germans. The research and development phase started in 1943, and this was in response to the fact that the toll of Allied bombers and the damage that they were causing was actually really concerning the Germans. So they decided to develop the X4, and it was an air-to-air missile that was wire-guided to prevent jamming. Jamming of the missile system. And they started testing in 1944. Now, I believe it was over the Sahara Desert that they were doing their tests, and they did a successful launch. Like, the missile actually worked. And they, over further testing, discovered that it was nearly impossible to fly an aircraft and guide the missile at the same time. So it was slated for just being put on multi-seat fighters, or multi-seat aircraft. And there was actually an aircraft that was being designed specifically to carry the X-4 as its primary armament. But the war actually ended before it was the Focke-Wulf TA-163, 183, not sure on that one, Hookheim. And it is one of the ugliest fighter concepts I've ever seen. Like, seriously, it was nothing like the sleek aircraft that looked deadly. It looked ridiculous. It looked more like a pleasure glider than anything else. But yeah, the war ended, so it was never put. And even though the production was actually began on the missile, it just wasn't able to be delivered to the aircraft who could use it in time, and the Hookheim was never developed, so that's why it was never used. So now you know. And as far as I didn't look at Italy or China because I don't care about either one of them. Oh, big stretch. Out of everyone besides Germany, France developed missiles first. It was like pretty impressive. I think it was 1954? 1952, 1954, somewhere in there. Now you know. I'm getting stiff from just sitting here. Well, that's going to go in the extra parts. That's going to go in the extra parts. I have no idea if I'm going to have patience to put the rockets on there or the... Oh, I can probably set the engines. Those ones I can do at least. Yeah, my fingers are starting not to work, so it's going to need to get wrapped up soon. And yes, I'm going to be putting German markings on this thing because I think it's hilarious. And let's be honest, it's totally something that the Germans would make. Oh. Okay, let's go ahead. Piece is interfering with it again. This is by far the most trouble I have had with an aircraft. Alright, well, the engine's cowling is actually going to be sitting a little further back than it's supposed to. Because it won't fit all the way down like it should. Ooh. Okay, you are going where I say you're going. No, flip back around, you. Thank you. Almost. Come on. Come on. I said come on. Tired of you. This is frustrating. Before it dries completely, do what I tell you. Yelling at a model, think it's gonna work. Okay. Holy crap. That was way too much effort. Here we go. The latest abomination. When I say abomination, I mean abomination. We got wheel bearings acting for something on the bottom. A fuel tank, a drop fuel tank that looks like a bomb. Armored car turret. Shit all over. Sweet. So there we go. Dan, thank you for sticking around. My camera, there we go. That's an abomination. That counts, right? Oh, dear Lord. Oh, I'm so sore. So, I will be getting this filled in. There's things I need to fill in on it. There's things I'm going to need to paint. The painting will be done Thursday. The filling in will be done whenever the hell I get a chance. Great, I moved the turret gun aside. So, there we go. Ouch. I just gotta figure out where to put it so it doesn't get messed up. There we go. Are you gonna go there? Are you gonna be nice? Probably not, but at this point I don't care. Okay, that's not gonna work very well. And I'm just trying to figure it out. Wait, come here. You. There we are. Very forward heavy, but it's good. I'll actually snap some pictures of this before I put it away. Oh. Well, thank you for joining Model Abominations. As you can see, we have created a real abomination today. I will take care of video editing over the next couple days. Audio editing will be about the same amount of time, considering I've got a 40-minute audio clip to go ahead and edit. I'm sore and I'm hungry. Well, without further ado, thank you, Dan, for sticking around. I do appreciate it, man.